Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel, Which Way 101. So, this is actually Sunday Funday. I've been inquiring as to whether or not to start doing PM tarot readings, and I figured, it's Samhain. Why not? Lots of people here in America, they do call it Samhain, but to be honest, it's actually pronounced Samhain. Tonight we're gonna be going a little bit longer than our normal hour. We're gonna play this as it goes. It's not gonna go longer than 3 hours, okay? But it's not gonna be any less than an hour, okay? We've got a lot of fun facts to go over tonight. And I just thought that it would be good to go ahead and explain to other people and explain to everybody what Samhain is and different rituals that we use for it. And oh, good morning, Chelsea. Yes, we're going over Samhain today. I'm very excited. Like I've got spells and rituals and foods and all sorts of stuff to go over. So, like I said, this is not just tarot fun. This is Sunday Fun Day. We're gonna bust it all out of there. So, and I actually, it's funny. So I wrote note cards too, just so that I could keep everything straight. Because I mean, I've got recipes in here, and just like you know how that one goes. So I wanted to go over this one first. Samhain, aka Halloween, aka All Hallows Eve, aka the Day of the Dead. Now, how does Samhain, how it's spelled, get pronounced? It's Samhain. It is Samhain, like a female pig, you would say sow, and then like an inn instead of a motel or a hotel, you would say inn. So put those two words together, Samhain. That is how it goes. Oh, good morning, Bella. How are you doing today? So that's how Samhain is pronounced. It and you will find a lot of people correcting you on this, and it's really awesome that they do. So one of the other things that I wanted to go over tonight was different holidays that are done from other cultures that celebrate Samhain. Okay. For example, the Vikings, they did not celebrate Samhain. They celebrated blood. Okay. Literally pronounced blood. You BL plus ODD. It's also pronounced blout, and other people pronounce it just blot. Okay, now people they used to gather together, they used to have a feast, and sometimes they would even do a blood sacrifice. However, these blood sacrifices, to my knowledge, were usually animals. I could be mistaken. That is very possible. And the next one that we have, now mind you, these are just a few of the common ones that I could find. There's another one in here somewhere. Like, I mean, I seriously went ahead and wrote out all of this stuff because I didn't want to. Oh, here it is. I didn't want to forget anything. And for some reason, all my stuff gets jumbled up here. So rather than letting it all get jumbled, I decided to write note cards down just in case. You never know. Celtics, however you want to pronounce that, they would light bonfires and they would in even nowadays we celebrate on October 31st. Technically the that particular Samhain for the Celts, they would go ahead and they would celebrate it directly in the middle of the fall equinox and winter solstice. Okay. And there was usually a sacrifice. Again, it was cattle that was sacrificed, and participants usually took a live coal home to relight their hearths, which I think is really great. And it was usually the female who actually carried it home too, just for the record. On our next one, we have the Norse holiday, which is called Harvest Fest or Winter Nights. Again, very muchly similar traditions to the Celts. They would hold it on October 31st, literally October 31st. It was usually led by the oldest female in the house. And the celebration was to mark the end of summer and the beginning of winter. It was to welcome winter into the home and hearth. So usually any cattle that were not needed for the winter, they weren't needed for next year's growth or anything like that. They were butchered and smoked and or turned into sausage. And I will see you when you get back, Chelsea. Excuse me. But yeah, so I think it's pretty cool how different spiritual paths, they celebrate things so differently, but yet at the same time it's so similar. So similar. It's crazy. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stop right there because I have many more facts that I want to go over with y'all. But I also do want to get these cards smudged and saged and all of that good fun stuff and start shuffling and start doing tarot readings because I've been semi excited, but more nervous about doing this tonight. Like I had it all planned out and it was really weird because I was in the middle of cleaning my room and reorganizing everything and I went to go move my computer cord over to a different outlet and for some reason now my headlights are out again. So we're going to have the electrical company come back out here. It's been absolutely crazy. It's been a fiasco lately. And, sometimes that happens. It really does. Now, I'm still crushing all over these cards that I got. So, if you've watched any of my other videos and whatnot, you will see that I picked up this deck as a birthday present for myself. Okay. It's a Classic Designs tarot deck. There's the front and there's the back. And the thing that made me fall in love with this deck, I've got a thing for eyes. Okay. I've always had a thing for eyes. The back part of this deck is an eye, and I just love it. Oh, good morning, Jenny. How are you doing today? So we're still playing with them. These are the tarot cards that we're playing with. I love how gentle and beautiful they are. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and smudge our card. I'm again using loose leaf sage. My sage stick decided to go, so I'm waiting to pick up more, but at the same time, I can still burn what's left. So I would rather burn what's left than waste it because if you do not know, there has been a lot of issues growing white sage. And so when it comes to purification, you don't need to strictly use white sage. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. Sage is sage, whether it's garden sage, tricolored sage, sage from the desert, or sage grown in your garden itself. You honestly, and I've actually seen people pick up sage from a grocery store and use it. It works the same. It's your intention behind it, the intention behind what you're. So without further ado, we're actually going to go ahead and start the smudging. Again, if you're using loose leaf like I am, please be careful. Please, you do not want to burn anything. You don't need to have any ashes go all over the place. So when you blow on it, please blow gentle and please use a container that it works for the heat. Okay. You don't need to burn your fingers or your objects or anything like that. And when you set it down, please set it down on a fire safe surface. Just, I don't want anybody's homes to burn down, okay? I also don't want anybody to get burned. That hurts. We purify these cards of any and all negative energies, any and all negative thoughts, impurities, feelings. So Chelsea, I don't know if you're back, but you were the first one in here. So I figured I would start a tarot reading for you. But if you're not back, if Bella is still here, I'll go straight to Bella. And if Bella has taken off, she's been very, very busy lately. Very busy woman, amazing woman. And if Bella isn't here, then I'll just go straight to Jenny. So who's still here? Because I saw it for a second ago, we had like 4 viewers and then it just jumped down to 2. So I don't know. I've always done it first come, first serve. And so I don't, like I said, I don't know who is here right now to be able to start doing readings for. So I kind of need somebody to let me know who's here. Because if not, I'm just going to start a reading for Chelsea because she's at the very top. Just saying. So I've been very excited about being able to do PM readings. And Yeah, I think that this will be very fun for me. I think that this will help me be able to talk to my viewers more and actually reach out more and whatnot. Uh, but yeah, and so far it's actually been a really awesome way for me to be able to interact with my subscribers and with my viewers, and I feel like it's given me more insight on people, and I feel like it's also been able to give people a bigger insight on me personally. Excuse me. I got like the world's biggest frog in my throat, and I forgot my straw. And I'm wearing lipstick, so this could be interesting here in a few minutes. This could be very interesting. Um, but yeah, so this is the first PM live stream I've done, aside from my very first live stream, which was at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, something like that. It was really early in the morning. Very interesting day that was. But yeah, so I'm hoping, this is my hope and my goal is I'm hoping that we can have a very busy night. We can talk about Samhain. We can go ahead and go over different rituals and spells and ointments and oils and things like that. And just overall have a very good time. As usual, I do not do live love readings. I do not think that anybody's personal life should be put on blast like that. I think that that is something that is private and should stay private. And if you choose to get a love reading done, you can actually go down into my link below, and there you will find my Patreon account for a live one on one reading through Patreon. I also do not answer legal questions. I will not give you a yes or no answer on stuff like that, and I will not answer medical questions. And that is because that can also get me in trouble. So, barring those, I can do whatever it is. But generally, I do a generalized reading, and I usually pull out 3 cards. Sometimes more than 3 cards fly out. It depends. Okay. It depends on a lot of different variables. Sometimes those cards just want to come out, and I will read them. I will read them, and I will tell you what they are, and I will show you what they are, so that way the person getting the reading can actually see what I'm also seeing too. Because even though you guys can see this pretty little board down here, it's not exactly the best visual for seeing the reading that is going on at hand. So again, I'm still waiting for somebody to pop up to say, "Hey, I'm still here. Give me the reading." And our friend Jennifer, she is not in here yet. Um, she is my moderator, so when she gets in here, I will go ahead and I don't do readings on her. So she has always been excluded from the readings, except for the first time because she wasn't my moderator. I discussed that with her, and she was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so yeah, but yeah, like I said, as soon as I know who's here for a reading, we can go ahead and do this. But I haven't gotten a response back from Chelsea or Bella or Jenny. So as soon as I know where another person is for a reading, we can do this, because I'm trying to save some of those facts and some of those cool little things for after a reading or two. Oh, how are you? Yeah, you can. I actually came on a little bit earlier than normal. Oh, good morning. How are you? I'm so excited to see you, Liz. Liz is technically my mother, so I guess I should probably call her mom. But yeah, that's my mom right there. So yeah, what was your question, GD? I may or may not be able to answer it. Oh, good morning, Jen. How are you? I was waiting for you to show up, but I'd already scheduled it, and and no contact currently. Thank you so much. I don't know what you mean by that. And no contact currently. Thank you so much. What do you mean? Oh, oh, you want to know whether or not you and your significant other will actually like contact each other again? Because that's kind of what I'm gathering from that. or somebody that you like. Oh, snap. Mm. I'm not really comfortable putting people's stuff on blast like that. Um, but I can give it a try. It is Samhain, so you never know. I only do a 3-card draw. If more than 3 cards pop out, I will read them, but I cannot guarantee the results will be pleasant for you. Okay? Oh, we've already got a first card. Oh, we've got our first 2 cards. I feel like this has taken a very big emotional toll on you because that is the 6 of Cups and it's reversed. I feel like this relationship overall, it's taken a huge emotional toll on you. And that's not always good. That's not always healthy for a relationship. I mean, I get it. Relationships, they do have their emotional tolls, but you've only got 10 cups in the suit of cups, okay, sweetheart, and 6 of them are flipped upside down. That's a lot. Yeah, I go with the classics. I absolutely love this deck. I picked it up for a birthday present for myself, and I've been loving it. So, I mean, you've got 6 cups reversed right now, and that's like literally what was in the past, and what you have currently going on is the reverse judgment card. I feel like when I see judgment, it's usually there's going to be some sort of legal thing in this or something like that. But for this one in particular, I feel like one or both of you guys are jumping to a conclusion of something that may or may not actually be the case. There could be some sort of huge miscommunication going on, which it does happen. I mean, Mercury just got out of retrograde along with like 3 other planets. They all suddenly got out of retrograde, which was great, but it kind of messed everybody up right after that happened because for some reason that many planets and that many retrogrades just seems to mess a lot of people up. I mean, seriously, we had Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and uh, uh, Mercury all in retrograde at the same time. It was crazy. And then within like a 2-week time frame, all of a sudden they all came out of retrograde, and that's kind of shocking to the system. But your future card actually holds the 9 of cups. So even though right now you guys might have been jumping to conclusions, or you guys might have had a lot of emotional turmoil, or you're giving so much that you don't feel like you're getting anything back, I feel like that's about to end, okay? However, we've got the 4 of Wands reversed as well. And normally right side up, I love this card. This card to me is like a celebration card, but when I see it reversed like this, I feel like somebody done did and left the party too early. You know what I mean? So you might want to talk to your significant other about what is going on to make sure that you both are on the same page about the same stuff, because what I'm gathering on this is that there's some sort of miscommunication going on, and it's making you or this person jump to conclusions. And it's funny you say that, mom, because I'm looking at this page right here, and it's part of why I'm saying what I'm saying is because the Page of Pentacles is the final card in this drawing. And I feel like with the Page of Pentacles, yes, pentacles usually mean money. However, when you see a page, usually sometimes about communication. And so in this case, I think that there's a huge miscommunication going on between you all, and y'all might need to talk just in case. Yes, I can definitely give you a reading on that, Mom. I just have to go ahead and cleanse my cards first. I have to cleanse them in between for my own sanity because you know how, you know, energies and stuff like that. But yeah, I really do think that you and your significant other really need to sit down and talk. I think that it would be very healthy and very wise. Um, Miscommunications are very easy to have happen when you are in a relationship with anybody. And when it's hard to talk and communicate, it makes things even harder to go ahead and get things out. Not every single person is easy to talk to. Being a Taurus and being a Virgo can make for a very interesting combination too. We're going to get that burning a little bit more because that's a big, huge clump right there. And again, when you're blowing loose leaf sage, please, please be careful. Make sure you're using a container that is safe for it and don't blow too hard because you don't need embers everywhere. Yeah, exactly. It could be a miscommunication on money. It could be a miscommunication on whether or not you guys are moving. It could be a miscommunication on one person wants kids and the other person doesn't. It could be as simple as I like this uncle, but I don't. You won't know until you actually sit down and talk. And my recommendation is use words that you would think a 2-year-old can understand because then miscommunications tend not to happen. They still will happen, and the other person might not like you very much because you're talking to them like that, but all at the same time, it helps deviate and halt and stop any of those miscommunications that happen, okay? And cleanse these cards of any and all energies. Cleanse these cards of any and all negative thoughts and feelings. Okay. Oh, and you're very welcome for the reading. Well, and Mercury is generally one of those signs that goes into it. I mean, it seriously it goes into retrograde 3 times a year. Okay. So every 4 months you can expect Mercury to go into retrograde. And as a lot of people like to say in certain circles, my own included, Mercury is drinking its Gatorade. Okay. And drinking Gatorade is great, but when drinking Gatorade stops communications or messes it up, it makes it a lot harder. And so, and I mean, let's face facts. A relationship is never easy. No relationship is ever easy. It takes communication, dedication, thought, time, action, blah blah blah. I mean, these lists just go on and on. But anyways, I'm going to re-cleanse my cards and then I'm going to get my mother a reading. Okay. What is going on with new business ventures? I really hope that works out for you, Mom, because that would be cool. What is going on with new business adventures? Well, I mean, at least cat gets flies. So I rescued a friend's cat, and she's been chasing my dog, and now she's hunting flies. What is going on with Liz's business adventure? Okay, normally I don't flip them over and do this with them, but for some reason I feel like the cards are kind of telling me that I need to shuffle them like this, so I'm shuffling them how they want me to shuffle them. And again, I'm not sure why this is. I think some cards might be flipped the opposite way of how they want them or something, because of how I do my readings. It wouldn't surprise me. So, but what is going on with my mom's business adventures? On. What is going on? Ooh, we've already got one flipping. Okay. Okay, 3 of Pentacles. I like that. But that's in the past position. So you do have something hidden from you. But you have put out a little bit of finances towards it. Nothing major though. At least not yet. And like I said, there's information hidden from you right now. But I don't get the feeling that it's information that like you're hurting for or anything. And so I don't see it as a bad start, but I do want to know more. Because I actually like seeing that card when it comes to adventures. Because even though a little bit's hidden from you, it's not enough to make me sit there and go, you might want to watch out, you know? So what is going on? What is going on with my mom's new business adventures? You got the King of Wands right side up. So I feel like when you go down and do it, it's going to be a good thing. But that's also like, well, and it's funny you say that because I was just thinking about this. I see this lizard right here, but is this lizard actually in this king's awareness? Does this king know that this lizard right down here is there? So it makes me wonder if there's still going to be more information that's hidden from you, but not necessarily for a bad reason. And yeah, kings are leaders too. However, I feel like with the 3 of Pentacles coming up right before that, and I mean, let's face facts, Mom. The guy's not looking at the cute little lizard over here. There's something that I feel like he might not be privy to. And that's kind of like all kings. They're not privy to every single bit of knowledge, which is kind of typically how that one works. But your next and final card is actually the Strength card reversed. If you go down this road, you need to have people backing you and not just saying, "Oh, I'll be there for you." But you need to have a support team backing you. And I don't say that for like sales or anything like that. I just feel as though when I see the Strength card reversed, I see a lot of weaknesses going on, and I feel like maybe the things that are actually hidden from you in these 2 cards, they could indeed be what's making this Strength card be reversed. So I might do some digging. If I was you, I'd probably do some digging. Um, just to make sure that you are not sitting there trying to start something new only to have it blow up in your face. Nobody wants that and nobody needs that. Um, but yeah, I would definitely go ahead and try to figure out what it is that's hidden from you. Because at first it didn't look like it was anything detrimental, but then reading it all together with the reversed strength card, just that really makes me think that yeah, that seriously just makes me think that there's there's something in there that is not going to go ahead and go over very well. So I would definitely look further into it before you go down that road. You purify these cards of any energies, any negative thoughts or feelings. Yep, and I mean, honestly, if the strength card was right side up, I would be balls to the walls, do it. But it's not. Um, and that makes me really, really, really nervous because when it comes to starting a new business adventure or anything like that, I feel as though the best position to be in is a position of strength. And so without that being the case, I just think that it's not a good time right now. It's definitely not a good time. But that doesn't mean that you can't prep more. That doesn't mean that, like, so for example, I'm actually working on an e-commerce store myself. I think that it would be lovely to be able to sell my subscribers and my viewers stuff that, I mean, it, mom, let's face facts. I've never known you as a weak woman. Okay. However, in that particular business venture, you could be weak. I'm not sure what business adventure you're trying to go off on to, and we'll talk later personally. Um, but yeah, that's, I don't think that it's you being weak. It might be not enough determination too. It could be. It could very easily be not enough determination, or maybe there's too many things going on right now. Like, uh, shoot, for me, it's pretty much taken an act of Congress just to make sure that I can do Tarot Tuesdays. And now I'm on this whole, well, let's do Sunday Fundays, you know, just so that that way my subscribers that work during the daytime and they can't be there during Tarot Tuesdays, they can be here on Sunday Fundays so that it's later at night. I should be able to do it longer because I usually do my Tarot Tuesdays during the day. So it's it's about determination, I'll tell you that right now, because yeah. Life has definitely been crazy lately, but I do think it's been worth it. It's been fun. It's definitely been fun. I will definitely say that. Well, and I mean, I've actually had a lot of fun doing these tarot readings, and I've had so much fun actually being able to interact with my viewers and my subscribers, and because I'm not able to interact with anybody when I do a video. I film the video, I edit the video, and then I upload the video, and the only interaction I get after that is in the comments. You're welcome. I love you too. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I know that tonight I will probably be celebrating on my own after I get off of this live stream. And I will probably watch some good movies. And I've already eaten dinner. So if I do eat anything, it'll probably be some sort of junk food thing. Because, why not? The question is not why, but why not? But yeah, so I think that this overall, this whole Sunday fun day has been. Oh, hi, Jason. How are you doing? Blessed be to you too. But yeah, as I was saying, I think that this whole tarot reading thing and the Sunday Funday thing and the Tarot Tuesday thing, it's been really fun. And this one, I'm kind of drawing it out a little bit because it's Samhain. And so I wanted to be able to give different things that happen during Samhain and different celebrations. And I've even got a few recipes in here and some that even say, look for the recipe yourself. Because let's face facts. Um, I don't have enough breath to go ahead and sit there and say, okay, this is exactly how the recipe is going to need to be had. And I will put a lot of the recipes that I have put down here in the comments after I'm done with the live stream. Uh, but I just don't want to go ahead and sit there and try to give out all of these recipes without anybody being able to catch them all, without having to sit there and pause the video like 20 million times just to catch one recipe. So, like I said, every single recipe that I mentioned tonight will be down in the comments below. I will probably be the first comment there, but, or I should say first comments, because it's going to be one comment per recipe, because I don't, as I'm sure everybody has known from watching my videos in the past, I do not like having multiple subjects in one video. This is actually the first time that I've done multiple subjects in one video. And that's because I have the ability to interact with people and I have the ability to say, hey, this is what I know, this is what I don't know. Versus in a video, I can just be like, this is the knowledge that I have it. And if y'all have questions, I would hope that you guys would ask in the comments. And some of you all do. I'm very grateful for that. But yeah. So how's your day been? What have you been up to, Jason? What have you been doing? Have you been having any fun? It is after all Samhain. Did you celebrate? Get any candy? I don't know. I mean, everybody likes candy on Samhain, right? I mean, that's kind of what happens usually. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I've always got candy on Samhain. It's part of my junk food drawer. Don't judge me. Everybody has to have a sweet tooth fixation somewhere, right? Ooh, very fun. Very, very fun. Yeah, tomorrow I've actually got a fun little task to do. I've got a bunch of tomatoes in my fridge and I toss them in there before everything started going down. But I tossed them in there because I didn't have time to deseed them. And I didn't have time to fully process them for like making tomato sauce or anything like that. So I tossed them in the fridge. And now tomorrow I will be harvesting a lot of seeds from a lot of the tomatoes that are in there because I've been meaning to harvest them for next year's harvest and blah, 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 blah. You know, the usual. Um, but yeah, and then on Tuesday, we will have our Tarot Tuesdays at our normal time. I do believe that Sunday Funday will become a normal thing. It probably will not go longer than 2 to 3 hours. And the reason for that is because of the fact that I actually use StreamYard and it's a free streaming program. So, and no, I'm not getting paid to say anything like that. So, I really just don't have the money to go ahead and sit there and pay for a streaming system right now. Um, so I'm not going to, so those are my options. And I like using StreamYard because I actually have the ability to have other people on here with me and whatnot. And yeah. Now, Jason, actually, Jason right there, he will not be getting a tarot reading this time because I did a tarot reading for him last week. So, well, actually earlier this week, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, so I won't be doing any readings for him just because I've already done a few for him and I do not think that that's very appropriate. But I do appreciate you being here and watching and joining us. I really, really do. And I hope that you actually enjoy all of our facts. Like we went over the Norse holiday of Winterfest or Harvest Fest. We went over the Celts or Celts, whatever you want to call them. We went over their holiday. We went over Blood, the Viking version of Samhain. And we also went over how to pronounce Samhain. So, and actually speaking of, so one of the Samhain drinks that we do have, it's hot apple cider, and honestly, most people actually they buy this from the package. That being said, hollowing out an apple and using that for a cup can go ahead and be a fun little festive way to get the kids involved, to also go ahead and just in general have fun. And adults, 21 and over, put a shot of like something cinnamon in there, and oh my goodness, or even a shot of something apple in there, maybe if you don't like cinnamon or it messes with your stomach or whatever. That could definitely add something magical to that drink. Just saying. And yes, so I totally did write out note cards because I didn't want to get everything jumbled up in my brain. You know how that one goes, right? Soul cakes. So soul cakes are like literally it's a traditional cake. It's a traditional cookie that's made on Samhain. And like I said, I will post every single recipe down in the comments below when I'm done with this video. I might not do it immediately after being done. It might be done tomorrow, but they will get there. I promise. Hot toddies are really yummy. I remember a trip out to Bagby Hot Springs, and that was one of the things that we had. It was really fun because me and my at the time boyfriend, we went to the hot springs that I had never been to a hot springs like that a day before in my life. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we all ended up having hot toddies because they didn't have any chaser or anything like that. And we were like, well, we have tea. And Nate was like, oh, well, let's make hot toddies. And I was like, hey, let's do it. So yeah, we all had fun in hot tubs and with our hot toddies and everything. So it was a very good night. And we still managed to get a fire early in the next morning, even though it was pouring down rain. We just were. And to this day, I can still make a fire when it's pouring rain. It's crazy. So long as I have the right kind of kindling and the right kind of wood and I'm patient about it, it's all good. Sorry. Very thirsty over here, and I forgot my straw. So now my thing's gonna have lipstick all over it. But moving forward, so soul cakes. It's about 3/4 of a cup of butter, room temperature, 1 cup of white sugar, 3 egg yolks, medium size, just the yolks. About 3 5/8 cups of flour, about 2 teaspoons of mixed spices, and the recipe is actually on the back. And don't worry, I will put that down in the comments below. Half a cup of raisins, 6 to 7 tablespoons of milk, 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, that's for dusting it when it's finished. You need to preheat the oven to 375, and they need to be rolled out with a pin to about 1/4 of an inch or 6 centimeters thick, or sorry, 0.6 centimeters thick. Bake for 10 to 20 or 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown, and dust with powdered sugar. Again, that is optional. Now, the spice mix is a combination of each of the following, and it's half of a teaspoon each: cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and nutmeg. Okay. Again, I will post all of these down in the comments below when we are done. Okay. So let's see here. I think there we go. Now, Samhain was traditionally on Samhain night to leave this is Samhain lore. So it was literally traditional to leave a plate of food outside for the undead, okay? And these plates usually consist of turnips, apples, corn, nuts, gingerbread, or mulled wines, and pumpkin dishes. Meats can also be included, and if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you can also add tofu. It is up to you, okay? And tofu is actually highly appropriate considering it's made out of a soybean, a nut. You know what I mean? So, just food for thought. You don't have to leave anything out. It's just, again, food for thought. I know certain pagans, certain witches that when they go ahead and do Samhain, they will just leave their pumpkins and their gourds and whatnot outside and they will call it good. They do not add any offerings like that. They do not feel as though it is bad or evil or anything like that, which is nice. It's really nice. It makes it to where everybody can go ahead and just enjoy their evening. Now, for a Samhain altar, usually apples, pomegranates, pumpkins, squashes, and other late autumn fruits are added to this. However, flowers such as marigolds and chrysanthemums can be added to this as well. Okay. I'll have to track down this recipe and put it down below. So, one of the other desserts you can do is an apple pie. I did not write the recipe down in here. So, again, it's one of those recipes that I will have to look up and put down below. But yeah, there's actually a lot of recipes that you can use for Samhain to go ahead and celebrate. There's squashes that you can bake and cook. Some people put brown sugar on them, others put butter. Some people put salt. It really depends on your preferences. But yeah, and as for corn dishes, there's a lot of corn dishes that can be made. Now, I know a lot of people nowadays, they'll be like, "Oh, well, what about using, something canned or bought out of a store?" Use it. Use it. It is your intention behind it, right? Your intention behind it is to celebrate this feast with your family, so do it. Nobody's judging. Nobody's going to get mad. Nobody's going to sit there and criticize you for using the tools that you have available at hand. That is part of the craft. That is part of witchcraft. That is part of paganism. You use the tools that are at hand. Okay. And nowadays in the 21st century, we've got so many tools at our disposal that it is crazy to me. Like the sage thing. It's the sage thing all over again. I can go to the store and pick up sage if I don't grow it here, and I can still use it for a spell or a ritual and still have the same effect because my intention behind that is the same as the white sage that I burn, you know? So it's your intention behind it. It's not where you got said product. Okay? Now, some of the herbs and some of the fruits and some of the other flowers and stuff that can be used for Samhain are chrysanthemum, wormwood, apples, pears, hazel, thistle, pomegranates, all grains, harvested fruits and nuts, pumpkins, and corn. Now, we're sitting here talking about store-bought stuff, okay? Out of curiosity, how many people do you guys know that will go ahead and sit there and use fresh corn in the cornbread? Or pick up a can of corn and use it in their cornbread? I know quite a few people that do. Just food for thought. But technically, that could be used as a dish for Samhain. It's made with corn. One of the many ideas. And actually, I had a idea the other day, but I didn't know how it would pan out. Maybe if somebody else tries it or has tried it, they can let me know because I'm not a fan of squash. So we don't grow squash on the farm. I plan on growing pumpkins this year, but life happens and that did not come out to fruition like I wanted it to. That is what it is. Oh, snap. I want to see that in action. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Like, that would be cool. But yeah, so we don't do that here, but my thought is that to go ahead and sit there and not just do the pumpkin seeds, but to also do like squash seeds. Is that possible? Like does it taste good? Does it taste similar? Like, you know what I mean? Just one of those random thoughts that came to my head that I'm just going, "Hmm." Right? Spaghetti squash with spaghetti sauce on it. It would be perfect, and actually a really fun thing to say too, to be honest. Um, and it would probably be fun for the kids and whatnot, especially if they helped make it. Like, the kids would probably adore making that because how many kids do you know that get to actually see squash turn into spaghetti right before their eyes? Of course, that might ruin the surprise for them, and then they might not wanna eat it afterwards. I'm not sure, though. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that. The only thing I have to worry about is my dog and my cat. Wherever the cat ran. Oh, she's in front of the heater. Okay. The cat's in front of the heater. That works. But yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can cook and that you can make. Like, I mean, for example, bread alone is made from grain. You can sit there and make, and I saw it the other day. It was apples that had been cored in the center and cut into rings, and then they were wrapped in puff pastry, and cinnamon was sprinkled on them, and they were tossed in the oven for a little bit. I think there was also butter in there somewhere. Um, but yeah, that actually looked pretty good, and that could easily become a dessert, or you can easily do that with pears too. I can't remember what it's called, but it's actually the name of a dessert. It's supposed to be really yummy. But yeah, all those things are perfect for celebrating Samhain. You know, right, right. I thought it sounded delicious. I was just like, "Hmm," and I'm not really a pie fan, so I'm just like, "Hmm, maybe that won't be like that much," because that's what I have an issue with pie, is it gets that really mushy texture, but I don't think that would, and I think if I did it with a green apple, it would be nice and crisp, but oh so warm and yummy. I think so, and I mean, to be honest, since it's got no center, you could probably go ahead and put, like, a caramel in the middle as it cooks, and it'll melt, and it'll be like a caramel apple cookie type of thing. I don't know, but it could definitely be good. Could definitely be very good. And as far as pumpkin is concerned, I mean, pumpkin pie, anyone? Yo, like the best pie on the planet. That's like one of the few pies that I will actually eat is pumpkin pie, so there's always that. And then I've met and known other people who have actually eaten pumpkin, like they've cooked pumpkin like they would squash and they've eaten it. Like I said, I myself am not a fan of squash, and so we don't grow it here on the farm, which is more than fine by me because again, we don't like it. Although I think next year that might change because I think that next yes, exactly. I want the pie smothered in whip. But yeah, no, I think that next year we will go ahead and grow a few different crops that we don't normally eat or grow around here because sharing is caring, and we've got a lot of neighbors, and I've got a lot of friends, and so I think that I can get them to come out here and help me with the harvest and whatnot, bringing their kids in the process, and turning it into a fun learning experience for the kids and maybe even the adults too. So I think it'd be fun. Oh, is the kitty cat after your tail? The cat went after my dog's tail. Right, right, exactly, Jason, exactly. My Aunt Marianne, she's not my biological aunt or anything like that, but she used to do that. She would go ahead and cut up the pumpkin, get all the insides out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I painted them the other day and they're kind of wearing off now, but I'm gonna end up redoing them because I don't like chip nail polish and it's been kind of bugging me all day. But I didn't really have a whole bunch of time to make sure that everything was set up. It's been crazy today and crazy for the past couple of days. Um, but yeah, and this cat keeps on like attacking everything and I'm waiting for her to like climb up on me again because that's what she keeps on doing. She keeps on randomly jumping on me and she'll like dig her claws like way deep and I'm just like, the hell did I do to deserve that? Like I'm here. I feed you. Can't you love me or something and not like claw me up? But this cat, she's like, but I wanted attention. And you're here, human, and you're supposed to worship me, human. And I'm like, Okay, let's hear the purr. And then that's all I hear for like ever after that. It's actually kind of funny, to be honest. And I hear the dogs, which means my dog might go off here in a little bit. So I apologize ahead if she does. She tends to think that if the other dogs are going off, that this little wiggle worm over here needs to go off too. She thinks that I might be in danger, and so to her, she's protecting mommy. You know. Oh, here, I'll get you under your blankies. Is that what you want? I don't know what she wants. Oh, you wanted your bone. She's protecting her bone from the dogs who are outside and cannot come inside, but she still got to protect her bone. For reals. It's yeah. That's like all it is. She thinks that I'm like worshiping her or something. She's just like, you worship me and you're gonna go ahead and do everything that I tell you to do. Sorry, my dog dropped the blankie and I don't want it on the ground because every time I turn around, it's getting dirtier and dirtier because of a cat or a dog. And like, yeah, this dog thinks that she owns everything, and the cat thinks that she owns everything. And like, I'm starting to think that I might just be a fixture in my own home. It's a very big possibility because, yeah, it's definitely been interesting. That is for sure. And those two, they don't give me a break. They don't give me a break at all. Like if the dog wants something, 20 minutes later the cat needs something too. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's cray cray. Absolutely cray cray, I tell you. And we are yeah, exactly, Boston. That's exactly what it boils down to. She is there to rule the world, you know. And that's what she thinks. She's like, I own this world. You are gonna worship me. I don't know, maybe a little bit of Freya is coming out in her. After all, Freya is supposed to be the goddess of cats, so that would definitely explain that one. And this cat, she starts her spazzing, like she's starting her spazzing right now. It's why I keep turning over to look at her, because I'm just going, what are you gonna do next? What's next? So Boston, since we're doing tarot readings, actually, if you give me a second, because I've just been sitting here kind of babbling, I will go ahead and sage these cards and I will get on a reading for you. Do you have any particular question in mind? I usually do a 3-card draw. Tonight being the night that it is, I am okay with doing love readings. Normally I do them one-on-one. I usually only do a 3-card draw. However, if more cards than 3 pop out, I will read them all. Them's the rules. But yeah, because I'm actually doing a longer than normal tarot reading, and in the evening time nonetheless. So let's see here if I can get this sage to actually burn. I tried doing it a little bit ago, but it didn't want to. We'll find out. Ah, there it goes. I guess it wasn't the right time. Let me cleanse these cards of any and all negative energies. Friendly reminder again, I've probably already said this like 20 times tonight, but I'm going to keep on saying it. When you're using loose leaf sage to burn and smudge and purify, please be careful on how hard you blow. You do not want burning embers going astray. You do not want to burn your house down, your hands, your hair, your board, your clothes, whatever. You just don't want to do that. Your magic has been feeding off the charts these last couple of days. I don't know. Let's find out. We'll find out if that one wants to pop out here in a second. Let's see. Is there any misplaced energies going on for Boston? Is there any misplaced energies going on? Or should he just leave? You've got the Star reversed as your first card. Jiminy Crickets. Sweetheart, I hope you have a little bit of time because that was a lot of cards that just popped out. And because of how they flipped, I don't feel that it's appropriate for me not to read them. So the star is in your past position, and I feel like when I see the star, it's normally it's a beautiful card when it's right side up, but when it's upside down, there's a lot of things that are in upheaval in your life. And I don't even think that you know what to do about it. Jiminy Crickets, darling, you, huh? So that High Priestess card tried jumping out early, and here she is. So your next card is the Page of Cups, and cups are usually like pages are there to give messages and whatnot to people. They're there for certain reasons, and when you have cups, cups are emotional stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on emotionally right now, and you're trying to figure out what to do. But I feel like with that card alone, it says that you should continue on this road, which is kind of even funnier because you actually have the Knight of Cups right after that card. Okay. So I feel like forward movement is almost one of those things inevitable. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Things are not pretty when it comes to the star. I feel like with the star, there's a lot of things that are broken. But I feel like with the Knight of Cups coming right after the Page of Cups, it's one of those things where you're going forward whether you want to or not. But I don't necessarily think that that's a good idea because you have the Eight of Swords right here, and it's right side up. Mhm. Knight in shining armor, yes, but with this card in front of it, that does not make me feel good. That makes me feel like eventually you're gonna feel trapped. And being trapped is not always a good thing. Your next card happens to be the Queen of Swords, which is kind of interesting because you just had the Eight of Swords pop up. So you're having a lot of doubles pop up. This is kind of funny. Um, the Queen of Swords, she's got everything. She's like in control of her world. She's got things going for her. She's got a sword in her hand. She's defending as well as being defended. I'm sorry. I also notice numbers more often than not. And so when I get too many consecutive numbers in a reading, I become very liable of pulling out my numerology books because you've got some doubles going on here. Your next card happens to be the Eight of Cups, right side up. Yeah, yeah, it's the Eight of Cups. Um, so it from what I'm reading, it looks like this relationship could definitely be something that is very emotional for you. It's gonna have its ups and it's gonna have its downs, and its downs don't necessarily look very good at all. Your next card after that is the, 6 of Swords, and it's reversed. So it looks like if you go there, either way, you're gonna leave. You will end up leaving the situation. Um, but leaving the situation is gonna cost you money because your card after that is the Ace of Pentacles, okay? It's gonna cost you money, but I don't think it costing you money is gonna necessarily be a bad thing because your card after that happens to be the High Priestess, okay? Now, the High Priestess is a major arcana. Yeah, it's either that or the situation will leave you. Um, but the Empress, she's like the HBIC of the deck, okay? And in my personal opinion, she's the HBIC of the personal deck. Like that's just sorry, hands down. This woman has more knowledge on what is going on with other people than even they themselves do. And I feel like with this card alone, you will whatever happens to make either you leave or this other person leave, I feel like you will know why. You will know why, and it will not affect you or bother you the way that you think it will right now. I think that by the time you hit this high priestess right here, that you're gonna see the entire layout. Mm, yeah, there's depth and there's also hidden things, but being a high priestesses usually have a way of knowing things that us humans don't. They tend to know a lot of things. Your next card is the Page of Swords. Okay. You're cutting through something. Something is communication that you will be cutting through. And I don't feel like that's in a bad way, but I would definitely be careful because your following two cards are both tens and they're both reversed. Okay. Your final two cards happen to be the reverse 10 of wands. Okay. And your card after that happens to be reverse 10 of swords. So honestly, if I was you, I would tuck tail and run. I would tuck tail and run because it sounds like a very dodgy situation that you're in. It sounds like you don't have all the information that you need. It sounds like there is stuff going on in the background that you don't necessarily see or know about or anything like that. And I feel like in the end, if you don't leave now, you're going to be actually more hurt in the future. That's just my own personal opinion on that. Um, is it true? I don't know, but that's what I read from the cards. I really, really, really hope that everything works out for you, that your relationship works out for you, because losing a significant other can be very difficult, especially somebody that you thought that you were going to spend the rest of your life with. And yes, yes, we've all heard the saying, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Okay. And there are. However, heal yourself first. Make sure that you yourself heal yourself first. It's nobody else's responsibility to heal you but you. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that because the next relationship that you get into, if you choose to go down a different path and choose another relationship, you don't want to be carrying baggage from a past relationship into this next relationship. You know what I mean? You it's better to go ahead and heal and start off on a clean slate with somebody new than it is to sit there. Like I said, be careful with the flames, yo. Uh than to sit there and go ahead and deal with somebody who's not going to appreciate who and what you are and how you are. Yeah, yeah, or you're going to end up repeating the same pattern, and that's not healthy. It's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for the other person. You and that other person both deserve to be treated with love and kindness and respect and honesty and communication and commitment. And if you're bringing baggage from the past into it, that's not always going to be possible. You know, I was always told that in order to love other people, you have to know how to love yourself and you have to actually be in love with yourself in order to be in love with somebody else. And I understand that to a great degree. But the only reason why I understand that is because it took me a very long time to actually fall in love with myself. It took me a very long time to actually be very comfortable in my own skin. Okay. And my secret to that was doing mantras, positive reinforcement statements. And I would do this every single day. I woke up every single morning and I did this first thing in the morning. I said these positive reinforcement statements in a mirror, looking at myself and reading the statements, going back and forth. And I did that for 28 days. Excuse me. And I noticed by the end of 30 days, my entire demeanor and outlook, my entire thought process about myself was completely different. Completely different. Um, I learned how to appreciate and how to truly love myself for who I am. So I recommend doing that before getting into another relationship. Just saying. It might not work for you, it might not be your cup of tea, but you know, hopefully hopefully you find somebody or something that makes you happy, that makes you truly happy. Ooh, we got cards trying to like butt into each other and everything. Yes. I get that, Boston. I totally get that. It took a death that hit very close to home for me to understand. And I won't go into very many details about it, but it took a death very close to home for me to understand what love was and what love is. And yes, if I could trade that experience for that person's life, and if I could trade that knowledge for that person's heartbeat, just for the record. I love you too, Mom. So has anybody done anything fun for Samhain today? Anybody? Like, all I've done is play with cats and clean my room, and that is my dog's jacket that you were playing with. And try to figure out how the cat has gotten my dog's jacket. I knew what you meant. This has actually been my fun for me. Like, I don't normally get up and do the whole let me do live streams and everything. So this has actually been going out of my comfort shell, doing the whole live stream thing. It's been getting out of my comfort zone and my comfort bubble, but I've been enjoying it. I really have been enjoying it. I've been meeting great people. I've been able to interact with a lot of people. I've been able to say hi to more people, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And I plan on doing this for like pretty much until people tell me to stop, or I have to make like a new YouTube channel or whatever because YouTube gets mad over whatever, because of whatever politics and policies they have going on. Y'all know how that one goes. Thank you, Mom. I love you. You're wonderful too. How'd your dogs take to the salt water? I finally got my dog Rosie to actually go into rivers. Like, she doesn't go very far, but she'll at least get a couple of inches in there to like grab a pine cone or a ball or even a stick. But like, I am too. I'm very grateful I'm out of my comfort zone. It's taken a while for me to get here, but this has been one of the things that I've been wanting to expand my channel to for a long time. And I just feel that it gives me more of an opportunity and more of a chance to actually say hello and be there for my subscribers and to let my subscribers and my viewers see that I'm actually a real person. I really am real. Like, I might go ahead and do my videos, but I'm still here, but I've been enjoying them and I plan on keep on doing them. I am hoping, I've got my fingers crossed that by this time next year, my channel is monetized so that way I can actually bring my viewers and subscribers even more content. Uh, so yeah, that's my goal and my hope. Stefan or Steven? Is it pronounced with the F or a V? Because I see that. I see your name is Stefan, but for some reason for me, I think Stefan. Like, part of my childhood, I was raised in Europe, so I got a little weird with names. Have fun giving your bunnies dinner. Give them love for me. Okay. Okay. Stefan. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. I had to make sure that I was pronouncing your name right. Um, I have a really funny last name, so I get the whole name pronunciation being wrong, and it gets kind of annoying. So I try to ask just to be on the safe side. I don't want to be rude or mean or disrespectful to people. But yeah, so I've been stepping out of my comfort zone lately, and for me, it's actually been really, really fun, and it's been different because I honestly didn't think this comfort zone would be so much fun for me. I'm meeting great people. I'm learning new things. I'm able to bring everybody more content. I'm able to go ahead and say, "Hey, this is what's up." And, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun for me doing this. And I'm really, really glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone. It's Doing tarot readings is something that I've wanted to do on a professional level for a very long time. I've got a bunch of friends and family members that they only come up to me for tarot readings because I've been reading tarot for so long. But I didn't think that I would be able to successfully deal with the backlash of having a channel about witchcraft with how a lot of people deal with witchcraft and tarot reading and whatnot. So, but a couple of friends kind of sort of talked me into it and they were like, but Jess, come on. There's not that many people out there that are as blunt as you and as honest as you and can explain things like you do. You guys are blowing smoke up my what? And so eventually my kid sister was just like, this is what I want to learn, but I don't have time. And I was like, if I made a YouTube channel, would you watch the videos? And then that was all she wrote. I was just like, okay. So, but yeah, I've been but surely trying to get out of my comfort zone more and more and more. I've been enjoying doing this, and I've been enjoying actually being able to fully interact with so many people. Like, in all honesty, this has been mind blowing to me with how much fun I've had. Because for the longest time, I thought that I would have a lot of ridicule, and we've had a little bit of ridicule here and there, but nothing that would make me go, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I quit. Um, Obviously, because I'm obviously planning on doing 2 days out of the week now. So, but yeah, I'm very happy that I got out of my comfort zone. It's thrilling to me. And actually, while we still have some time, so I wanted to go over some more stuff about Samhain and some of the ways to celebrate it, okay? So our next thing is fall Sabbath incense. This incense is made up of, and I recommend using a mortar and pestle. If you don't have one, you can actually use a coffee grinder for this, okay? Just be careful on how much you grind it up because it can turn into fluff. And fluff can sometimes be easier to deal with, but not always fun, especially if you blow, because then it actually floats everywhere a lot easier. So moving forward, it is 3 parts frankincense, 2 parts myrrh, and 1 part rosemary, cedar, and juniper. Okay. It is burned during the fall and winter Sabbath rituals. Now, there's also altar incense that I have in here, and this is 3 parts frankincense, 2 parts myrrh, and 1 part cinnamon. And this is burned as an in general incense on the altar to go ahead and purify it and to promote ritual consciousness during rituals, which is nice because a lot of people they don't their mind wanders even when they're in the middle of a ritual. It's very easy to do. It's I mean, let's face facts. We're not robots, okay? Our minds wander. We think about other stuff. Something happens. The cat jumped up on something. The dog barked. Something crashed in the kitchen because of whatever reason. You know what I mean? Now, that's not to say that these things still won't happen. However, usually in general, when you use the altar incense, it tends to keep you focused more on the ritual at hand, which is nice. It's very nice. So, but yeah. And then I've only got 2 more of my note cards, so everything else will be actually off the top of my head. And again, the reason for these was because A, I didn't want to get it all jumbled and I didn't want to mess it up because I knew that there's so many facts that I have running in my head that if I don't write note cards out and stuff like that, it just gets jumbled up and then next thing you know, I'm tongue-tied and it doesn't do anybody any good. So our next one is an evening chant to the gods. And this one goes as followed. And again, I will put all these chants and all the recipes and all the drinks and all of that stuff down in the comments below when we finish this. It might not be directly today, it might be tomorrow, but either way, it will be there within 24 hours of this video being posted. Okay. I promise. Okay. So this chant goes as following: Hail, fair sun, ruler of day, rise on the morn to light my way. And normally this is said at the sunset, okay? And this one is the evening chant to the goddesses. Hail, fair moon, ruler of the night, guard me and mine until the light. It is usually to be said while moon gazing at night. This doesn't mean that you have to be outside to do it. Just like the sunset thing, you don't have to be outside to do it. This can be done from the comfort of your own home if you're able to do so. If not, I recommend trying to go outside, go to a park, see if you can do that. But Sometimes we have buildings in our way, sometimes we have trees in our way. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I live out in the country. Like if I look in the wrong direction, there's nothing but buildings or a tree or a huge empty field. Like it really depends on where I look. Okay. And there are some times where the sun sets right over there, where we've got this huge patch of trees that I seriously cannot see through it. Okay. So it's definitely one of those things where I don't mind going further into the property to be able to see it, but honestly, if I can't go ahead and see it from my property, I will go ahead and do and get as close as I can to be able to see it. I'm not going to go ahead and go adventuring. I've got a compromised immune system. When it rains, it pours, and the moment that I get sick, everybody around me gets sick. So I will compromise by going as close as I can. Now, again, what a lot of people forget when it comes to spells and rituals and chants and whatnot, sometimes you cannot be where you want to be at and observe where said ritual is supposed to be done at. Sorry, the cat got a hold of a paper and now she's spazzing on it. I think she might have found a little bit more of the catnip that I put out over there. Oops. Maybe I shouldn't be putting catnip out for her anymore. um, but yeah, so I try to get as close as I can to said object or item. Um, like for example, for a full moon, if I can't see the full moon because it is cloudy out, I'm not going to go ahead and sit there and wait for the next full moon to do my ritual or my spell. I'm going to continue doing it because I know that even through the clouds, my gods and goddesses are still able to go ahead and, oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. But I know that even when it's cloudy and whatnot, my gods and goddesses are still able to go ahead and do what I need them to do because that is who and what they are, you know? Stefan, that is interesting. That is very, very interesting. And it's funny you say that because I was seriously searching for a while today, trying to make sure that I had the notes. And I was like, I know that there's some sort of sunset ritual that I'm missing. And I know there's some sort of moonrise or moon ritual that I'm missing that I could add to this. What is it? And I finally found that. And I was so happy that I found it because every time I'm turning around there, I have so many things going on up here as far as like trying to tell everybody all this information without sounding like either I'm a quack or shoving too much information down somebody's throat and they're not able to quite understand what's going on or the concept or anything like that, or I've just blown their head with too much information, which has happened in the past. Let's keep it real. You know, it does happen. So, but yeah, I think that with Samhain being here, it is a very good night to go ahead and celebrate with your friends and your family. Just please, if you do that, stay safe. Let people know where you're going. Keep your cell phone charged. You know, that sort of thing. And as for any sort of rituals that you're doing, if you cannot be in direct sunlight or moonlight, again, it is your intention behind it that counts. So just because I can't see the sunset directly where I'm at, I can still semi see it. For me, that's okay. For me, that works. I honestly, I don't have the ability to go ahead and sit there and trudge through 5 miles of forest over here just to see the sunset. Okay, I don't have the ability. There are 7 German shepherds on this property, and every single one of them would follow me. And then they would probably get out onto the highway because that area of the farm is not fenced in. So it's not something that I really wanna do. I don't want to be responsible for that or anything like that. So I don't go over there. I There's a cute little spot up top of the hill where I live that I can not fully see the sunset, but enough for my taste. And then from my porch, I can actually see the moon more often than not. And then the nights that I can't see it, it's usually because it's a new moon. So you can't see it during those that particular time of the month. And that is what it is. There's nothing bad with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The goddess and the god will still go ahead and hear your prayers and hear your worship and hear your chants. Okay. And the thing that a lot of people they always fail to remember this is that When push comes to shove, it is your intentions behind said ritual or spell that really, really either makes or breaks the ritual, you know? The moon energy is still semi-powerful during the daytime, but so there is such a thing as sun cleansing, and sun cleansing is it's kind of like moon cleansing when you're cleansing your crystals. You, instead of putting them in the moon, you put them in the sun. And I know a lot of people, there's actually a yoga thing called the sun poses. And I've the only other one that I've heard related to anything dealing with the moon being just as powerful during the daytime would be during an equinox. And from my study and research, that particular time when there is an equinox, especially in your area where you are at, it's possible to make equinox water. It's possible to bless your stones under the equinox and get a full blown double blessing because you're having both the moon and the sun at the same time. Even though the moon is blocking the sun, you're still able to go ahead and get the purification rays from both of them at the same time because of how they're working in singularity like that. But past that, I would think that the only time that you can actually get the moon energy as still being a powerful thing during the daytime would be especially during the full moon. What a lot of people do not understand about the full moon is that technically there are 3 days of the full moon, okay? The first day is not really considered it to be full. The second day is considered it to be full, like, as full as you can get it, and then the following day is when it's starting to wax. I think that's the right word. Um, However, it's still considered a full moon, so those 3 days are the 3 days that I would think, and I would personally think that the moon has just as much power as it would at night, if not even more so when you stop and think about it. Because, yes, even though, the moon is supposed to be a night thing, how many goddesses have y'all heard about being, like, evil? You know what I mean? And almost every single time people talk about night, they talk about how they I'm actually gonna get off here soon. They talk about how they, don't it depends on your ritual, it depends on your spell and what you wanna do. When it comes to the moon, for example, right now, ooh, as something drops and hits the ground. For example, right now, it's the waning moon, okay? It's the waning crescent moon. If I wanted to do a spell right now, I would probably do something along the lines of like a diminishing spell, some sort of cord cutting spell, something. I would definitely go ahead and do it to get things out of my life. Okay. Now, when it comes to the waxing spell or waxing moon, because of the fact that it's getting bigger and going into a full moon, I would do some rituals and some spells during that particular time of the year or month, I should say, to enable me to get the growth and gain the growth that I need. But the most powerful time of the moon in general is when the moon is full. You can do so many more rituals when the moon is full. Just saying. I'm probably gonna be on Jason for another about 10 minutes. As much as I wanted to do the 2-hour thing, I've gotta go to the bathroom, and I've gotta figure out why this cat keeps on trying to attack the dog and whatnot, and, yeah, so I didn't wanna leave everybody sitting here just hanging, waiting for me while I go on a potty break or anything like that. So I figure at the 1:45 mark, the 1 hour 45-minute mark is when I will probably shut this down. And that's because again, I didn't feel like everybody should have to sit there and wait while I go to the bathroom. That just seems a little rude in my personal opinion. So, you know, just saying. And I'm not trying to be mean or rude or anything like that because I wanted to go for at least 2 hours, but the plain and simple fact of the matter is that the body has its personal needs, and unfortunately, my lower facilities are kinda screaming at me right now, um, which yeah, not always pleasurable, but I've been enjoying the conversation so much that I've just been kind of ignoring it, and it's actually starting to get to the point that I can't really ignore it. I've got, like, a bladder the size of a pea, so and I mean, I literally went to the bathroom right before I started my live stream, like, literally 5 minutes before, but I've got a bladder the size of a pea. So, it's it's kinda one of those things, you know? Um, if anybody knows of any way to, like, help with that or fix that, that would be awesome. I personally don't know. I just deal with it because that's part of my body function, you know? Oh, before I forget to tell everybody, I'm also now on TikTok. So when yeah, hey, girl, you gotta go. So, but I will be doing my Tarot Tuesday this upcoming Tuesday. I hope I see everybody there. I'm now on TikTok. I do a lot of namaste stuff on TikTok because I believe that everybody needs positive encouragement and positive reinforcement throughout their life, not just one or two times. And I believe that having positive sayings and whatnot that are nice and beautiful and inspirational can actually be very helpful to the mind, the body, and the soul. Okay. So I put the link for that down in the description below if you would like to check it out or follow me or whatever I'm working on, and that's where I'm gonna be more active at more often than not because it only takes 10 to 30 seconds for me to go ahead and find one of my cards and to say, "Okay, let me read it out loud. Let me make sure the screen can see it, the whole 9 yards." You know what I mean? So, that's where I will be at as far as, like, Monday through Sunday, there should be one new one from me pretty much every day. Um, Eventually it'll get built up just like my channel. It'll probably build up a little bit quicker because let's keep it real, saying like 3 or 4 sentences over 30 seconds is a lot less time consuming than edit that video and trying to upload that video. Okay? Just keeping it real. Oh, are you going to go to bed, Jennifer? Oh, I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I really do. I hope that your evening is beautiful and I hope that you enjoy it. I really, really do. But yeah, so and actually my bladder is starting to scream at me so much so that I hate to do this y'all, but I've really got to go. I'm sorry. It has been a wonderful, wonderful channel. Or wonderful, wonderful evening. It has been wonderful seeing everybody here tonight. It has been wonderful doing tarot readings. I will again be on here on Tuesday. So if you want another one, let me know then. I usually cut off the limit at 2 a month though, because again, these are free. And Samhain, because of the day that it was, I pretty much took down all of the barriers. So we did more intense readings today than I normally do. So, but I had fun. I hope y'all had fun. I hope y'all stay safe and enjoy Samhain. Okay. And I will see y'all later.